next door to his house, another house for his other daughter on the other side.
Do you think that he would be interviewed?
By the police?
By me?
By you? I don't know. I don't know. He'll be very upset because he is such a private individual. Maybe he will feel that he needs to put his side forward. I'd give it a go.
I have written to John Winfield and left messages for him explaining who I am. I wrote to John that this podcast series, Bronwyn, is an investigation into the disappearance in May 1993 of his missing wife. John has always denied foul play. He has also always tried to minimise media interest. John has insisted that Bronwyn got into somebody's car one Sunday night at the house in Lennox Head, and that was the last time he saw her. So far, he has declined to be interviewed for this podcast investigation. I am hopeful that he or someone close to him speaking on his behalf will agree to talk to me in a later episode. In a telephone interview with me, Megan expanded on something from that morning catch-up in 1993 at Sandstone Crescent, the last time she saw her cousin and good friend. And Megan recalled that Bronwyn looked very worried.
She looked really ill at ease, and she said he's going to be back any minute. In other words, we thought that she was trying to tell us we should go.
Madison Walsh has been sorting through the piles of paper in front of her while we've been talking at the dining table.
How deeply have you read into these files?
Yeah, I've gotten quite deep. I just haven't gotten that far into the coronial inquest. But I've read a lot of the statements and diary entries.
She has come to her Auntie Megan's home to help organise more files of evidence about the case.
Madison grew up with the whole thing. She's heard about it all her life.
I was told about it from as long as I can remember.
She's gone and done a Bachelor in Forensic Science and specialising in crime scene investigation.
Bronwyn's fate has intrigued Maddie for years. She's been bringing order and structure to a very large number of documents. Most of these are important evidence at the heart of the disappearance and the suspected murder of the woman Maddie grew up hearing about, her mother's cousin.
Great that you're going through the detail of it and reading it, and that you've got that expertise.
Here we have witness statements from 1998. Some of them are from neighbours, and that's from Jody.
1998 was the first time any statements were taken.
That's what got me. Why was nothing done? What got me? Why was nothing done? So we have these statements, but they're 5 years later. The police didn't search her. The house wasn't investigated. It wasn't a crime scene. Usually in this day, when there's a missing person, there at least like a search of surrounding areas, even if it's just volunteers. But that didn't happen. It was like no one cared. It was like, oh, she just ran off. That was it. Never made another phone call, never reached out to her kids again, never travelled, didn't take a passport. The only thing that John claims that she took was her handbag. Never used Medicare. Nothing.
And didn't have any money, or not much money at the time.
But there was money in her bank accounts never been touched.
So money not touched, and equity in the house that she owned with John.
Yes.
But she didn't touch the equity.
Well, she couldn't. Barbara, who is Bronwyn and Andrew's mother, she had postnatal depression after having Bronwyn, and she got even worse when she had Andrew. What John was trying to say is that because Barbara was a paranoid schizophrenic, and she ran away and disappeared out of their lives when Andrew was 6 months old and Bronwyn was 2, and then she came back about 10 years later. That's what she did. So that's what he's saying. Now, I distinctly remember Bronwyn saying, if anything happens to me, that's what he's going to say. With Bronwyn's mother, it was brought on by postnatal depression, after having children.
I drew a bit of a family tree last night.
Oh, good girl.
This is really helpful, Maddie. Thank you.
Numerous printouts of emails over the years may also hold clues and fresh leads.
So I've managed to kind of sort them into dates of what's kind of going on.
Maddie, how do you feel about being part of this investigation with me?
Love to, yeah, 100%.
Do you think you can be objective about it, though? Your knowledge of the family, your expertise?
Definitely.
Because you never met her.
I did hear about it all the time, but I never knew her. That was what I was talking to Megan and Kim about. Obviously, for them, a lot of emotions would drive it, and it can blur the evidence. I am disconnected from it because it happened before I was born.
What if we found some evidence that suggested that the person your family believes killed your auntie didn't do that?
Then that would be okay. I would understand that. And there is a possibility that it wasn't who my family thinks.
Thanks to the family tree drawn by Maddie, I realised that Bronwyn, if she were alive, would be Maddie's second cousin, not an auntie.
So if it turns out she did run away, I'd be like, okay, we have evidence of that. We know that. I do have an open mind. And I have questioned everything that Megan has told me. I'm like, how do you know? How do you know this didn't happen? How do you know she didn't run off? Why are you blaming this one guy?
This record of interview with Winfield is obviously a crucial document.
76 pages.
We haven't seen a tape of this anywhere. Do you have some photographs of it?
Yeah, I do. I've got heaps. That's from the day she brought John over to meet me. I was living in Double Bay.
Open a folder just for selected photos. Thanks, Manny. Okay.
That's Bronwyn, a baby Bronwyn. That is John, the first time I met him. And that's Crystal to the left-hand side. That's Bronwyn and I. That's Jodie, the stepdaughter. Michelle, Mum, Bronwyn and myself. She was such a good mother, my God. But that's Crystal's father, Mark Davis.
Who's deceased?
Yeah. That's Bronnie.
On the trike?
Yeah.
Okay. That's Bronwyn?
No, Bronwyn's not there.
Oh, sorry.
Bronwyn's gone then. She's gone.
Sorry.
Yeah, she's gone there too. They're just family photos. She's gone.
Written and investigated by me, Hedley Thomas, as a podcast production for The Australian. If anyone has information which may help solve this cold case, please contact me confidentially by emailing bronwyn@theaustralian.com.au. You can read more about this case and see a range of photographs and other artwork at the website bronwynpodcast.com. Our subscribers and registered users hear episodes first. The production and editorial team for Bronwyn includes Claire Harvey, Kristen Amiet, Joshua Burton, Bridget Ryan, Bianca Farmarkis, Katie Burns, Liam Mendez, Sean Callanan, Matthew Condon and David Murray. Audio production for this podcast series is by Wasabi Audio and original theme music by Slade Gibson. We have been assisted by Madison Walsh, a relation of Bronwyn Winfield. We can only do this kind of journalism with the support of our subscribers and our major sponsors like Harvey Norman. For all of our exclusive stories, videos, maps, timelines and documents about this podcast and other podcasts, including The Teacher's Pet, The Teacher's Trial, The Teacher's Accuser, Shandy's Story, Shandy's Legacy and The Night Driver, go to theaustralian.com.au and subscribe. This podcast is made possible by subscribers to The Australian and our principal sponsor, Harvey Norman. For over 6 years, Harvey Norman has been a key partner in my investigative podcasts such as The Teacher's Pet and The Teacher's Trial, The Night Driver, and Shandy's story. I'm proud to have the support of Harvey Norman and its CEO Katie Page for our investigative journalism on cold cases that we believe can be solved. For more information on this podcast, go to theaustralian.com.au.
ABC Podcast.
Was this burn your retirement project?
Kinda. Yeah, I'll tell you how it all started. It all started so I could have a place to play music without bothering everybody. Because I can't turn it up in the house, and I don't like playing quiet. It don't have to be loud, but I got to hear it, you know? Got to feel it a little bit. Check 1, 2. So that's it. All right, thank you.
We're in Knoxville, a city in the foothills of the Smoky Mountains in eastern Tennessee. It's early June and inching towards that temperature where moving around outside feels like a challenge. It's especially hot inside the barn that Scott Payne built. And calling it a barn doesn't do it justice. It's a man cave, really. Or, as Scott calls it, the barn dominium.
Yeah, so barn dominium, it's 30 by 24 or 26. And it's, I think it's 18-foot walls and the open ceiling. We got a little loft up top that's about 10 foot deep. But it's my office, it's a bar, it's a place to hang out.
In one corner, drenched in sun, there's a high stool and amps for when he's playing his guitars. When he isn't, he hangs them up like championship pennants next to an American flag the size of a bedsheet. At the back is a shelving unit that takes up almost the whole wall. It's adorned with memorabilia from his undercover cases, rows of trophies and plaques, medals, framed certificates, and photos.
This is kind of what started of the hooray for me wall, I guess. Of course, the bass case. That's the balaclava. That's what you get, and you get the patch when you get into the bass. Of course, that's Georgia, the cell I was in. So I got all my little pins here. White Pride Worldwide. There's your lightning bolts, the SS, KKK, more White Pride. That is the original Aryan Nation group, the Klan, and stuff like that.
There's a whole shelf devoted to the Klan. There's even a copy of the official KKK handbook with a chapter called Klanversations.
But man, I had to study this, and we had Klan craft class every Wednesday night. This is the mystic insignia of the Klansman. This goes back. There's a lot of history. A lot of history. And if you look at the seal, it's actually 4Ks. The original seal had 4Ks. But yeah, they were.
When he retired and gave that interview to Rolling Stone magazine, he started to get known as a type of hillbilly Donnie Brasco, and he didn't mind at all. Scott says the number one rule of being a good undercover is to be yourself, or know who you are, where you came from, and how to fit in.